Hello from North Myrtle Beach. We are on Ocean Boulevard. We're going to give you a complete tour here of the Ocean Boulevard in North Myrtle Beach, as well as talk about what's new here in 2023. Hi, I'm Carmen, and if you're new here, we cover everything in the Myrtle Beach area. And if you're a return viewer, welcome back. So glad to have you. So it is a bit of a chilly day today, so we may not see as many pedestrians. It's a little breezy, a little chilly, but not too bad. And it's a little overcast, as you can see, but we still get the sun peeping through once in a while. So Ocean Boulevard runs right down the ocean in North Myrtle Beach. There's also an Ocean Boulevard in Myrtle Beach proper, and there's also an Ocean Boulevard south of Myrtle Beach, but there's little breaks in it where you can't just drive from one end to the other. So we're taking you through the section that is in North Myrtle Beach. North Myrtle Beach is a different city than Myrtle Beach. It's a different incorporated city. And it has, I would say, more of a little bit of a relaxed vibe compared to Myrtle Beach, and they don't exactly have a boardwalk in the same way that Myrtle Beach does. So it's a little bit different, a little more relaxed. Some people would say probably a little more family friendly. So here we've got some demolition going on right here, and you can see the ocean there. So Castaway Beach has been demolished, it looks like. And we don't have news on what's coming there next. If you do, leave us a comment below and let us know. We do have news about a new exciting shopping area that's coming. It's going to be on 9th and 17, Highway 17, which is just to the left of here. It's not far from here. And it's going to have a fine dining restaurant called 900 Prime Steakhouse. And they're also going to have some shops there. So that's some exciting new development. And then towards the end of this drive, we've got two pieces of big news. I'm going to talk about one of them now, and then I'll re-mention it when we get to the actual location. One huge bit of news is that there is most likely going to be a Hampton Inn and Suites added near the Cherry Grove Pier. And we also have some news to talk about the Cherry Grove Pier, so we'll get to that as well. But it's exciting that there's a brand new oceanfront hotel going in, and they're going to have parking across the street. It'll be 156 rooms. As of this recording, it has not been 100% approved, but it said they were only one vote short of being approved by the city council, and they just have to make some minor adjustments to their plan. So it sounds like it's definitely something that's going to happen. If you have been with us for a while, you know we like Hampton Inns. We have stayed at quite a few in the Myrtle Beach area. We've stayed at one in Murrells Inlet. We've stayed at two in Myrtle Beach. So we happen to be a fan of Hampton Inns, and no, this is not sponsored by them. We just find them clean and nice, and they have a nice free breakfast. We haven't had any terrible experiences at Hampton Inn, so it's kind of sad that that's what you judge by these days. But honestly, if a place is clean and decent, that's really all I'm looking for. Have you stayed at a Hampton Inn here or in other areas? Let us know in the comments below, and let us know how you like them, and if you're excited about this new one that's coming up. And if you're enjoying this video and this drive down Ocean Boulevard and tour of North Myrtle Beach, let us know by giving us a thumbs up or a like. We really appreciate that. So as you can see, as I mentioned, we're not going to see so many pedestrians since it's chilly. On a summer day, this would be packed with people, all kinds of people crossing the road, because we are getting up into the day. It's about 11 a.m. We usually get questions about what time of day we film this. This is at 11 a.m. on a Saturday, so like I said, summer, this would be just packed with people walking around. This is a good time if you're not familiar. If you're somewhere up north and you have some degree of flexibility, this is a good time to come down and do an extended stay. A lot of hotels will let you stay for a month or two in the months of January and February. So that's something to think about. Like I said, if you've got some job flexibility, or if you're retired or have options, definitely something you can do, and they usually have pretty decent rates. The normal nightly rates this time of the year are definitely lower than in the summer, but they are not cheap. We don't really have a true off-season anymore like we used to. Most things are still open year-round. We get a ton of people that do come down from the colder climates, either in the north or Canada, and so we don't have like super dirt cheap rates, but you're going to pay a lot less this time of the year than you would pay in prime time. I would say January and February are probably some of the lowest rate times of the year. So coming up here, we've got some gift shops. some places to eat. Got beachwear there, some King's Beach at the beach here, Bargain World. So this is Main Street for North Myrtle Beach. And so if you go this way down Main Street, there are more shops and restaurants in that direction. And we hope to do a walking tour of that sometime. We haven't gotten to it. The one time we came down here and walked around there, they were having a festival, so it didn't give you like an accurate picture of what it would normally look like. But it's a nice little main street with some, like I said, some extra eateries. Now, if you were looking for lots of entertainment, you're not going to see that on Ocean Boulevard and North Myrtle Beach. You're going to need to go over to Highway 17 that I mentioned previously, where that new shopping center is going to be. There's putt-putt, there's restaurants, there's other types of entertainment. There's Barefoot Landing, which is a huge entertainment complex and shopping complex. We have several videos on that, so you can just look on our channel. I'll try to remember to link one in the description below if you're interested in a tour of that. Lots of stuff going on there. Here is a more residential part of North Myrtle Beach. Most of these houses are rental houses, though not not full-time residences. I mean, you can even tell because you see the rental signs as we go by. But these are oceanfront houses here on the right. And then on the left is what's called second row. But a lot of these houses would have nice views of the beach since there's no obstruction. There's only other houses on the right side. So if you have a large family, want to do a large family gathering, that's definitely an option. These houses would be quite pricey to rent, though, based on their size. These are really, really big. So you'd probably want to chip in with the rest of your family to do something like that, unless you have a lot of money. But yeah, definitely a great location. Being here oceanfront, and you're sort of out of the chaos, which is nice, unless you like the chaos. Some of us like the kinetic energy, and some of us don't. Now, I'll mention the Cherry Grove Pier. The Cherry Grove Pier we will go by was split in half by Hurricane Ian this past fall, and they are working on rebuilding the pier. It is partially open right now to the public, but it will be fully open, they hope, by May of 2023. So that's something new for 2023. So that's something to look forward to, is the full reopening of that. Definitely got some large cranes here. And then as we head down, further down, we're getting more towards the Cherry Grove Point end. I don't know if we're quite there yet. You can tell by the street signs. Can't see the sign. I think that did say Cherry Grove. So if you're not familiar, there used to be these little towns here, separate areas. I don't know if they're incorporated towns, but it's Windy Hill, Crescent Beach, and Cherry Grove. And then they all incorporated together to form the city of North Myrtle Beach. Yeah, there's a sign. We are into Cherry Grove now. And so Cherry Grove is the northmost part of North Myrtle Beach, and it sort of goes out to a little point at the end of this section of the beach. So it's a nice little area, and there's marsh on one side. It's a really pleasant area, and then, like I mentioned, there's the Cherry Grove Pier, which hopefully will be fully restored soon. Here's some Bolina's. I'm probably saying that completely wrong. That is a huge sort of food store, gift store. They've got food, all kinds of stuff. So that's definitely worth checking out. And you can walk up in their lighthouse. They have a little lighthouse that you can walk up in. So that's kind of cool. And apologies for my pronunciation if it's wrong. But yeah, I mean, you get the idea. Like I said, this is a different time of the year, but this is just a little more laid back. There are a few things to see and do, but it's mostly, to me, if you stay in North Myrtle Beach, you're here for the beach. Go to Myrtle Beach for the beach, of course, but you also go for a lot of the entertainment and stuff. Whereas here, you're definitely, I think, coming to spend your time hanging out on the actual beach. One thing I find interesting in North Myrtle versus Myrtle is the above ground power lines. I don't know how often they have power outages, but you would think that would cause a lot of issues when we have some bad weather, but they've been this way a long time and still manage. So, but in Myrtle, they have buried most of their power lines also makes for a more attractive drive down Ocean Boulevard. So there is the Cherry Grove Pier. I don't know if you can see it, but there's half of it missing right there in the middle. Big chunk is missing. But hopefully they will have that done as planned by May. They even said maybe as early as mid-April, but I would not bet on that. It seems like every estimate I ever see for when they're going to fish something, you need to add quite a bit of time to that. So that area we just passed right there at Cherry Grove, that is also where the Hampton Inn is going to go. They said the Hampton Inn will have a view of the Cherry Grove Pier. So it's that same area. We interrupt this driving video to bring you a little more detail about the Hampton Inn and about the repairs to the Cherry Grove Pier. So I'm going to give you a more up-close view than we could get from the road. So this is where that Hampton Inn is supposed to be if it happens. We'll keep you posted on that. And they are supposed to have parking right across the street, so I'm assuming it's that lot right over there. You can see some of the pilings that they have for the pier repair. And then let's go to the beach here and get an up-close view of this pier and the repairs to it. So now you get a better view than we could show you from the car. So here's the pier, and then this section right here I assume is what's open. There's no people on it right now, probably because it's freezing cold, but that's where I think people can still fish. And then obviously where there's 5 million birds down there on the other section is the closed section, and then they're repairing the middle section. They are expecting the materials to come in. You saw the pilings, but the rest of the materials soon, and they plan to start soon. Obviously, if they do not get those materials, that entire schedule should change. So let's go back as we take in this beautiful beach view, but let's go back and finish our driving video. And then over here to the left, like behind that hotel, now we're starting to get to where you can see the marsh. So that's what's really cool about this area. No matter which side you're on, you might have a marsh view, you might have an ocean view. It's pretty neat area, you know, since you've got both in this area, and especially if you're someone who enjoys the marsh or enjoys fishing, I think this is a really good area. I know the Cherry Grove Pier has some great fishing. I know my father has fished there before, so you can look back towards the marsh area also. But the Cherry Grove area is definitely very nice. It's a really nice part of the beach to walk out on too. I like walking out to that point that they have. Definitely unique looking compared to, say, Myrtle Beach. Really, really pretty. Obviously, Garden City has a similar thing at their end, but it's a little harder to access. This is pretty easy to come down and park. You know, depending on the time of the year, you're going to have to pay for parking. Off season, the parking is usually free. On season, which is usually March 1st, but that varies through the end of either October or November. That varies as well, but you need to always read the parking meters, check the signs. Also, this is just my little PSA. I just saw in the news that now that's a new thing, is scammers putting fake parking tickets on your car, as if we needed something else to worry about. So definitely check, make sure you're parked right, and then if you do get a ticket, check it really carefully and make sure it's legit, because I heard that's the way they're scamming people for money now. They print them off and they look legitimate, and they're not, and you're sending your money to somebody else. So heads up about that scam. It's so frustrating, all the things we have to worry about these days when we travel. People are always asking me about safety here. I would definitely say North Myrtle Beach tends to be on the safer side for sure, but anywhere you go that is a tourist destination, you have got to be aware, be mindful, you know, just really be aware of your surroundings, stay in groups. If you go out late at night, that's a risk. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying you're taking risks. Anywhere that it's a tourist destination, you will sadly have people that prey on those tourists. So you just have to watch out for yourself and your family. But I would definitely say that North Myrtle, you don't have to worry about those things quite as much. And well, as you can see, there's not much of a nightlife here. So you're not going to have a lot of bars and clubs and things unless you go over to Highway 17. So definitely a different atmosphere and less, like I said, nightlife going on here. I would say there's quite a bit of vacancy this time of the year, so if you are looking to visit in the near future, I don't think you have any problem finding somewhere to stay this time of the year. There's Xanadu too. not to be confused with Xanadu 1. Every time I see that, that song pops in my head. Let me know in the comments if it does for you too. Here's definitely some new construction. A lot of pilings. Don't see any details, but yeah, that's going to be really big, whatever that is. We'll definitely keep you posted. That's a good reason to subscribe. We definitely try to keep up with anything new going on, so be sure to subscribe, and that way you won't miss any new videos we have coming out as we get more information. But the Cherry Grove Pier I mentioned, they do have part of it open for fishing, so if you're still interested in fishing there, it's not completely closed. It just won't be fully open until, like I said, probably May, give or take. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to click on the video on your screen right now and click subscribe so you won't miss anything new. Thanks so much for watching. Until our next adventure.